Hello, beautiful people on the other side of the screen. You are now tuned into Audiotree Live. Today is Monday, May 8th, 2023, and I am your host, the third best rapper in Chicago, Psalm 1. I'm yearning to get into the music today, but before we do that, I want to remind y'all that likes are good, but when you subscribe to Audiotree, you get these dope videos at the top of your feed every single time they drop, so please make sure to do that. And while you're at it, please follow Audiotree on Spotify, Apple Music, Tidal, or wherever you bang your music. Today, we have none other than Jeromes Dream in studio, straight out of San Francisco. These reluctant heroes of Screamo have survived the fickle curse of time and have proven themselves to be as blistering and tight as ever. They're here to blow our fucking wigs back with some beautiful hardcore. Ladies, and gentlemen, please welcome Jeromes Dream. We're here with Eric, Sean, and Jeff, better known as Jeromes Dream. My socks are coming off right now, so thank y'all for that. We're so excited to have y'all in studio right now. How y'all feeling about being back on the road and in here in particular?
Thanks, Mom. It feels good to be here for one. We were really anticipating doing this with you guys, so thanks for having us first off. And it feels good to be back at it. This weekend in Chicago was kind of our first time back since, doing a handful of shows last fall. But before that, as we all know, the pandemic really threw a wrench in the works. So, we're just really happy to kind of get back to the rhythm of things that we were so clicked in with before things kind of fell by the wayside. So it feels really good.
Awesome, yeah. It seems like you all haven't missed a beat. So, it's cool that you had that pandemic patience and that you are back in the saddle. Sean, you said during sound check you ate a whole deep dish pizza last night.
Well, I did, but I wasn't the only one.
Oh.
The thing was, I think there was, the bar got set kind of high. Someone went in for their last piece, and I think we all decided that we needed to keep up. And then we all went and laid on the ground for a couple hours.
I was going to say, I feel bad for you if you did that, you know what I mean? But it's okay. You seem to be here and healthy and ready to go. So
you're only in Chicago for a couple days. You got to pack it all in.
Yeah, absolutely.
Literally, all the pizza.
If you actually, I usually tell people, if you ate all the food that we're known for here in one weekend, you might be in some real trouble. So it's better to space it out. Do y'all eat more trash on the road normally, or do you skew more healthy?
We try to eat healthy when we can, but it just depends. We all get hungry after we play, so that's usually in the middle of the night.
Sure.
So
it's definitely something that we're, I think, being more mindful of as we get a little older. This trip, I started out with a Tupperware full of seeds.
Okay.
And dried berries, and then that graduated to falafel, and then, lo and behold, deep dish pizza.
Yeah.
The cool thing is, though, I was able to get a vegan deep dish.
Okay.
But they messed up my order, and they did a regular sausage deep dish. So these guys actually had to
help you out.
They had to help me out.
And are you vegan, or are you vegan with benefits?
Vegan. Yeah, okay. I went full vegan only a month ago. I was vegan for a while back in the day, and then I decided to get back to that just in time for tour.
Yeah.
And
I said in the van, I was like, I wish you had waited until after tour, because
But I'm up for the challenge. The healthy eating starts tomorrow.
Okay.
I guess.
All right.
When we're home.
Yeah.
Yeah. When you're back at home.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a little bit easier to do that, especially in you're currently in San Francisco, correct?
Yeah, we're all in the Bay Area.
Yeah, the Bay Area is pretty easy for veganism. Keeping on the road discussions, what are your favorite podcasts? Do you have any?
I do. Do you guys?
My favorite podcast, this is a plug here, is Eric's podcast. It's called Microspy.
Oh,
damn.
Quick plug.
And you're going to have to check it out. I do legitimately listen to Eric's podcast every time he puts out an episode because, as you can tell, he's got a wonderful speaking voice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Man.
That's the end of my plug.
It didn't even occur to me to mention my podcast, but thank you, Sean.
I got your back, dude.
I love you for that.
Quick plug,
I think more than ever, there's a lot of podcasts that I personally love, both in the music realm and beyond, a little bit in the academic realm. I know some, we were talking earlier about your practice and study and how you're incorporating that with your art, which is really awesome. But I think the New Scene podcast is cool. That's another punk podcast.
Okay.
A lot of great interviews, a lot of great coverage of the scene and the culture. And I find myself listening to a lot more of kind of like thought leader stuff, like this enduro athlete, Rich Roll. He has a lot of guests on the pod that are ranged from academics to scientists to, doctors, nutritionists, and stuff like that. And I've been just kind of deep diving on stuff like that as of late.
Nice. Science is great.
Yeah.
I'm always a big fan of that.
Absolutely.
Jeff, what have you been doing to, cure boredom on the road?
I just pick on them a lot.
Oh, okay. Got the jokes?
No, I drive a lot. You know, I'm constantly just thinking ahead 3 steps, which is what I do at home because I have a wife and son. So
Right.
I'm always just trying to make sure everybody's got what they need and where they need to be. And yeah, I don't know. We'll just listen to whatever's on. I also wanted to mention Song Exploder, our old friend Rishi.
Yeah.
It's a really good one. But yeah, you know, read a little, look out the window. I like to look out the window when we're driving because, you know, Sean and I were talking about this yesterday, like watching the scenery change as you travel across the country. It's really nice. So I'm pretty easy to keep happy. And,
Okay.
Yeah. Boredom is where your creativity comes from too. So.
That can happen. This new album is amazing, so I know y'all are stoked about that.
Thank you.
How does it feel getting back in with these new songs as opposed to, you know, the older stuff?
Well, we recorded this last May. We did the music in last May, and then the vocals came shortly after. And so we've been waiting a year to play these songs for folks. You know, we played a couple shows last year, but now we really get to unveil them, and everybody will have been able to hear them. So it feels really good to just know that people will have the opportunity to sort of know what the songs are and what they're all about, and so it's a lot of fun. I don't know if you guys want to add onto that, but
Yeah, I mean, it's nice to get out of the rehearsal space, you know, our windowless room that we were kind of incubating in for a couple of years, and to like make this thing behind closed doors during a time when it was the one thing that kind of gave us some kind of structure to the weeks and something to look forward to. And there wasn't like an initial goal or plan to start writing and making these songs, but that's kind of just what happened when we got in the space to play and just hang out, you know. And
Right.
So it's nice to finally get it out of the box and put it in front of people, and obviously with the record out, which feels really good. And yeah, it's nice that we're kind of turning the page and on to the new chapter.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Y'all have got many chapters in your book, so it's amazing that y'all are here with us. And if you're ready, we're gonna go back a few years and play a couple more chunks of songs. So if you all are ready,
Let's do
I'm
it.
ready when you are.
Yeah, sounds good.
You just heard South by Isolation by none other than Jerome's Dream. If someone called y'all the third best screamo band of all time, how would you feel about that?
I would be very suspect. We were talking about this yesterday, actually, about the term screamo,
Right.
and how over the past 20 years it's become more a part of the vocabulary to describe this subgenre of hardcore. And when I think back, way back then, when we were first a band, our first iteration in like the late 90s, it was kind of, there was a stigma to that. Well, actually, I think screamo didn't even really come into the mix rather, till afterwards. But I think we always considered ourselves to be a hardcore band or a punk band, and we definitely knew that we were kind of left of center, not really fitting in the mold of a traditional hardcore band, I guess. Mm-hmm. And I think back then it was I think lesser known offshoots of hardcore were more of like happy accidents or discoveries versus being able to now deep dive through Spotify and get 12 recommendations after looking at one band. So the rate of discovery, it has accelerated like crazy, because back then it was like digging through a milk crate of records,
right,
and then coming upon a weird record like 1.6 Pound, or even like Sleepy Time Trio, or Garden Variety, just an endless list of bands that I think we're drawn to because they were different, because they were weird. I mean, I think we all grew up listening to traditional hardcore, but we were all also listening to so many other types of music and different offshoots of what a hardcore band would be, And
y'all came up in the era where it was just like, you don't want to sound like anybody else. You actually want to forge your own sort of like different sound or different way of approaching the music.
It's all we knew how to do. Like,
yeah.
We still don't know how to play. So it comes out the way it comes out, and we try our best to kind of just be truthful to our own expression. And I think that's what makes any band sound the way they sound, is their own unique way of expressing through their instruments and equipment, whether it's shitty equipment or the best equipment. I think at the end of the day, it just matters who's behind it and what the intention is behind what they're making.
Absolutely. I was absolutely thinking about the word intention.
Yeah.
Because when you try, it sometimes like just completely falls apart, and having those happy accidents can sometimes be the catalyst for just something way beyond your wildest dreams. Yeah. I wanted to get into the title of the album a little bit. So what I think it means, I loved y'all's Screamo Index interview that dropped a few days ago, and I loved how the album title got explained. But in this wild version of society, you have to take a step out of the darkness sometimes, and then also a step out of the light of ignorance. Or so that's kind of how I was thinking about it. Am I on the right track here?
Without a doubt. I mean, if you have one narrow mindset on the way you think things should be, then you're in trouble, because most people aren't going to see it the way you see it. So it's sort of just a reminder to try to get out of your own head and see it the way other people do. And I know it's harder for some people, but it takes a lot of practice. And even I have a lot of trouble doing it sometimes. If I'm driving, I'm like, ah. But but at the end of the day, we're all just trying to survive and do what we need to do, and different experiences and perceptions create all that gray that's in between. And I just want to remind people to just try to take care of each other and themselves, and make space for other people when they need it. So,
yeah.
And I think that the current landscape, it's been proven to be very difficult for humanity to kind of tap back into that idea of decency and civility and respect. It's a very polarized world, and to Jeff's point, it is important. I just want to echo that it's important to make note that your way isn't the only way, and your perception might be your own truth, but it's not everyone's truth. And people need to chill the fuck out because people are getting hurt, people are getting killed. And, you know, we're not a political band, but I think we're at a point, you know, the world is at a point where you can't help but not acknowledge this stuff that's going on. And it's very loud because of the internet. We see it all. And sometimes you got to remind yourself to maybe like step away from it, because it's easy to get bogged down by it and scooped up in it. And then you suddenly find yourself feeling more depressed than usual. And it's all very real. But, you know, I think that's why another reason why we were so happy to get back to this, you know, get back to just artistic expression, because it's the one thing that, you know, we can channel all of these like confusing feelings and just sort of absorption of what's going on from the outside and just put it through this. And I feel like a lot of people feel that way. It's not like we're doing anything special. We're just doing it our way to, you know, creatively survive. And hopefully whatever we're doing and whatever you're doing creatively, what everyone else is doing creatively here at Audiotree and beyond, like, hopefully people can find inspiration in that and to do their own thing, to create rather than to destroy and dismantle. It's more like if we all just try our own thing and support each other trying to do their own thing, you know? And this is totally unscripted, by the way. I never really thought I'd be like talking like this, but I feel like it's a really important time to just get it out, you know?
Absolutely.
So.
And with musicians, you know, and entertainment, we kind of like provide a form of escape for a lot of people.
Totally.
And it's easy to stay zoomed in and try to ignore what's happening outside. But I think with your type of music, as well as with my background in hip hop, it's a response, a visceral response to what's going on. And it allows us to zoom in and possibly create things that are more positive. So I really appreciate that sentiment.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Y'all want to play some more tunes?
Sure.
Yeah, let's
we got a couple more, or a few more.
Yeah, a couple more.
Let's do it.
A very big thank you to Jeromes Dream for blessing us today. And as always, major love to everyone here at Audiotree spreading the gospel of live music. Jeromes Dream will be on a proper tour later this month, so grab tickets when they pop up in your area. Also check out their latest album, The Gray In Between, because you love great music and we want you to thrive. Once again, likes are good, but subscribing to Audiotree means you get these videos at the top of your feed when they drop. And if you want the audio, you can stream this session on Spotify, Bandcamp, or wherever you stream your music. Finally, follow Audiotree on all social media for more fun content. I'm Psalm 1, and I love talking to y'all. Till next time, stay dangerous.
All right, so you guys want to do it for real now?